Hey, oh hi, welcome to episode 200 of About the Cards podcast. We are live tonight for the last time at 8 p.m. Pacific on YouTube.
10 Central.
That's right.
11 Eastern.
11 Eastern. And all the ones that let's not forget Mountain Time. Sometimes 8, sometimes 9. Who knows? They don't know. We don't have any show notes. That's it. We have nothing. We have an introduction that we did off the cuff after memorizing it. Beautiful intro. Shout out to the past. I was reminded by more than one person. This is episode 201, not 200, because we did have episode 0. And so there's that.
Well, this is actually probably about 203 because there were a couple of LOLs of which I was the first ever guest of anybody on About the Cards. So you're really about 203, but 200 is a good number. So we'll call it 200.
How did we land such an icon for our first
Well, and remember,
ever
your
guest?
first real guest is Ryan Cracknell. So
Yeah, we want to appreciate you. First off, we got Stephan Loeffler tonight at Junk Wax Twins. I'm Ben at Trading Cards. We got Angela, Mrs. Junk Wax Twins at another __.
Yes,
Castle. That's right. And then we have the Uncle Rich Klein.
as I said, I'm the first guest. I might as well be on the last show.
That's right. He's up past his bedtime already.
Way past my
Way
bedtime.
past.
And I'm doing this without caffeine. So if I pull a timey or sort of fall asleep,
Yeah, we appreciate everybody's support, and Shep will be along shortly. He's wrapping up, closing out the LCS for the night. And if anybody wants to join, that we can do like probably a DM in the YouTube chat or something and send a link if you didn't already have the link.
Can do a behind the scenes deep dive.
Yeah, it's pretty bittersweet. Driving home today, I was like, "That's weird. I don't have show notes for tonight." Steph and I were sharing inappropriate memes in the podcast thing this week instead of hobby related information that normally would make the show notes. It was just like, screw it, something cool happened in the hobby, whatever.
I mean, we do that too, but
so hey,
before this week,
real quick on the way out, let's have one thing. Uncle Rich is with us and he can explain. I got my 2022 Topps A's team set. If you can see how much room is above
Holy
this, good
crap.
quarter of an inch. If I slowly turn it over, you'll see the cards slide. I mean, look at that. You can see Frankie Montas's junk under his belt and Matt Chapman's card in full at the same time. That's not right. Rich, why don't you explain how is that stuff packed out? Because it comes in after Series 1 and it's got
as
new cards.
I was telling you before the show, and I don't know if he's doing it this year. I haven't spoken to him for a few years. But there's a gentleman out of New York named Cliff Dolgan's C&I Collectibles. And since about 1996, he's actually been the person distributing and I guess marketing, so to speak, those Topps team sets. And it's nice to see the return of them, but I don't know if it's him or somebody else, but it would be nice to see better quality control and have cards not shift around in the package.
Yeah, I mean, just a smaller, it doesn't make sense to stick something in there to push it up against the plastic. But yeah, when I got that out and I was rattling around and I'm like, what in the world is this? So, but shout out to Matt Major, Once a Cub, Cardboard Stats, who was on with Jared Kelly 2 weeks ago. He gave me a heads up that those team sets are available. The A's have 17 cards. I believe they had 9 or 10 or 11 or something like that on the Series 1 checklist. So it is an extended version of the team set. And then they're numbered OAK for the A's -1 through 17. So it'll be 3 letters associated with your favorite team. If you want to go search those factory team sets on eBay and grab yours while you still can. I think it's cost me like $11 shipped. I think it was like $7.99 or $7 plus $3 or $4 shipping. So not too bad, to grab your team set. And again, guys that aren't normally, like this particular one has Josh Harrison, who's no longer with the team, but only had 1 card in Heritage for the A's. And they always add usually 1 or 2 new rookies So it's nice. Grab your team set, but figured we'd have one last topic to bitch about on our way out the door tonight.
Well, speaking of topics, so I think that's an encouraging sign to see that. And I don't know if it's in the retail stores the way it's been traditionally, but that to me is a great retail item. We talk about people getting items in retail. Well, that's a perfect item. Let's say it's $10 at Walmart or Target or whatever. That's a really cool item to be $10. And, it's the local team. And what else I find interesting is way back in 2007, the Red Sox team set was uber hot because Daisuke Matsuhaka, or however you pronounce his last name, Daisuke, we'll just call him Daisuke. They knew he was going to make the Red Sox. They couldn't release the sets until after opening day because he technically was not a member of the Players Association until he played his first game in the majors or until, he made the major league roster. So those cards sometimes have rookie cards in them that are really cool. If somebody gets called up in the middle of the year, not so much. But if they have a good idea you're going to make the team out of training camp, there might be a chance that there's a good rookie in there.
All I know is the 2016 New York Giants set is still at my local Target here in Dallas. So they go around.
I just find it hard to believe they put the New York Football Giants into Dallas.
No, the
San Francisco
Giants.
I find that even harder to believe. The New York
I will take a picture next time I'm there, man.
Please do. I mean, the New York Football Giants at least play in the same division as the Cowboys.
One thing that's always irritated me about a lot of things about the show Full House, but there was an episode when Danny is teaching or coaching Stephanie Tanner's Little League team, right? They're the San Francisco Giants. They live in San Francisco, and Michelle is dressed in New York Giants. She's got like a little sweatshirt on. It's New York Giants, and I'm like, serious? It's Giants, but that's just bad legwork on costume designer.
The costume designer knew nothing about sports and didn't care to learn.
Yeah, it's just it said Giants. It's close enough, whatever. But every time I see that episode, that irritates the crap out of me because everything is so San Francisco centric. Danny in his early days was a sportscaster before they did the whole Wake Up San Francisco, and I'm covering the Warriors tonight. I get to sit on the bench. If 8 guys get injured and a hot dog vendor, I get to go in and it's just I think.
By the way, if there was never proof before your dad was smarter than you are, his first post tonight just proved that your dad is smarter than the sun.
Which one's that?
He says, no podcast on Wednesday nights will finally give me the needed time to invest in some 1985 McGuire rookie cards.
Yes.
Yes, and by the way, as they say when they're being grilled for the Supreme Court, the 1985 McGuire being a rookie is settled law. We are not going to revisit that law anymore. That is
it's being dismissed with prejudice. Frivolous.
So seriously, we're talking about some people were using you to, listen in the background. I listen to you every Thursday morning for 2 hours. I know when I mentioned to Dr. Beckett that you were going, this was going to be for now your farewell episode. And he said, it's kind of sad because they brought so much joy to so many people over those years.
Obviously Dr. Beckett is an icon in this hobby. So for that to come from him is not only awesome, it's humbling and flattering. And again, growing up in the late 80s where Beckett was Bible. And I know that you and Jim were obviously it dawns his name and you were such a big part of that publication every month. And kids like myself and Shep and eventually, Steph and Angela a little bit later on as they're a little bit younger. For him to even know who I am. I still tell my dad every once in a while, I'm like, Dr. Jim Beckett knows my name. And, it's like, he's just a guy, he's just a human being, but he means so much to this hobby. And 50 years from now, his name will still live on in this hobby. where most of us won't. And for him to know us, and I know Tim got to meet him at a national a couple years ago, and it's such an amazing thing.
It's a great Tim story. Jim, I found a table for him to sit at. It was a gentleman by the name of Chandy Greenhold, and Chandy usually only lowered his prices for Sunday. Well, that year he lowered his prices on Saturday, and I didn't have the patience to look through it. And I said, Jim, I think you're going to sit here. And he spent about 30 seconds with the cards at a quarter. He says, I think I'm going to sit here. So he spent basically the whole day there. And it seemed like every hour on the hour, I was introducing somebody to him. And most people were incredibly respectful. And Tim was respectful, except he was boisterous respectful.
And then he was so shocked when he was like in shock and awe when he was walking away, like, I just met him. He knew who I was. So
for context,
you were all staying at that beach, not the beach house. You were staying at that party house in Chicago.
For context, we just happened to be walking with Shep because he had bought a huge lot of football sets.
And he wanted to put them in the car.
And he wanted to put them in our car, and we were his transport that day. What, Sparky?
This is great radio.
We're walking down the aisle, and I'm like, hey, because I caught Rich and Jim's sight line. And I said, hey, Tim, go introduce yourself to that third fellow on the right. Completely blindsided him.
Well, yeah, because in the hobby,
him his shoulder, and he goes, "Oh, hey, no, I know who you are. You're Shep. Nice to meet you in person." Shep needed a cold shower afterwards. Like, yes, people know who you
so
are.
I later asked Jim, because I'm sort of exaggerating, but it seemed like every hour on the hour I was introducing somebody to him. And he has a guy who also sat next to him for the entire day doing the same thing he was doing. So I said, did that guy next to you ever wondered why I kept bringing people over to talk to you? And what did he ever say to you? And he said, the guy only said is, are you done with that box yet? That guy was as well focused as everybody else. He says, I'm concentrating on what I want to buy.
Hey, when you're at the National, I mean, meeting Dr. Jim's great, but digging through a dime box of priorities.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if you're out there, don't be shy. It's Stephan, Ange, it's me, it's Uncle Rich. I don't know how much longer we're gonna have Uncle Rich.
And everybody needs to say, "Hey, Angela."
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna do it at the end of the episode. And if you're out there and you don't have the link and you want the link, let us know. We'll figure out a way to get it to you. But we want to share
the days of the Great Dime Box, which I haven't seen a Great Dime Box in over a year now.
Well, that's because when I sold out, I sold mine.
Well, yeah, but no one else had one at that point.
Actually,
I don't even see quarter boxes anymore.
Duke in the Starlight Room usually has a decent dime box, and Raymond sometimes puts good things into the dime box on Duke's table. You just got to go to Duke's table at the Dallas Card Show. And Ron and Rhett, depending on how much inventory they've picked up, they sometimes have a really good dime box, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, the last two shows I went to, I probably spent $40 to $50 combined, and came home with a bunch of Junk Wax era McGuire's and Canseco's and Henderson's and some old Donruss, Walter Johnson's and Jimmy Fox's, and that's it.
I'm just playing a New World, it seems, and I don't like it, but that's.
It's funny because I mentioned Ange to a local collector named Jeff Porter who listens to the show and follow her on Twitter, and he and his daughter went to the last show. She's getting into cards. He was the one that told me we should get Matt with Parkside on. And
there's Bayside. So
hey,
when
Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Now that he's here, I can say now that it's past my bedtime, I can be summarily replaced.
I heard you had to call in the reliever, so I came in.
Yes. Yeah. And remember, you got to say, hey, Angela, at least once.
Hey, Angela.
Hi.
How's it
going? Then. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Rich, hit the like and subscribe, because who knows if we ever use this channel again.
Oh, and hit the like button too, by the way.
That's right. Uncle Rich,
you slightly caress it.
it's been an honor getting to know you over these years. You've been a great friend of the show. You've given us so much material to talk about, and you know,
I remember I work with Stephan Angela, so I will
That's right.
definitely be in touch because somebody's got to bail out my computer issues because it ain't me.
from the bottom of my heart, I love you, my friend, and I know we'll be talking very soon. And we can't thank your support, you for your support enough. You've been it's very, very much an honor from the bottom of my heart to get to know you and be friends with you. And
we love you too, and you can release me from the room.
Bye, Rick.
Bye, Rick.
Alright.
all right, so yeah, just to finish that thought, Ange, I was saying, Matt with Parkside, that's how I found out about him, was through Jeff Porter. And I told Jeff the last show, I said, hey, 9 o'clock is the true collectors. By 11, you get all the black cases. And he hits me about 11:30. He goes, I just got here and all the black cases are coming in one by one. He goes, you weren't lying. And it's that modern day, you get the early birds who are probably looking to get good deals for their PC. And then by midday, you get the flip vesters in there trying to, make deals and on to the next speculative items. And, hey, more power to them. It's just, the nuances of the show, the observations. So, Andrew,
the black cases and the funky shoes.
That's right. Hey, they're just they're just there to make money. So
I do want to celebrate two things. One, the infamous dress worn by Dorothy, Minnesota's native Judy Garland, is up for sale after being lost for decades. Minnesota's own. Two,
Judy Garland Museum
would like to celebrate the fact that for the first time in Vegas Golden Knights history, they are not making the playoffs.
Yeah. Did you see the sign or the scoreboard from the Sharks the other day?
Yes.
That was glorious.
I'll pull it up.
What was the sign? I didn't see it.
I got it.
Oh, it was glorious. It was glorious.
And confused because we're talking hockey.
Hockey is God's sport.
Okay, so
You got to show it as it originally was broadcast, though, first.
a little discombobulated, Ben, but can you read this?
It says what? Fans unite, celebrate, keep the hockey energy kicking. How something?
Now.
What's that?
Now,
Now,
Yeah.
imbibe.
Generously honor the Sharks.
Okay.
so fans unite, celebrate, keep the hockey energy kicking. Now imbibe, generously drink, honor the Sharks. Now, read the first letter of each of those.
FUCKTHEKA. Haha, that's funny.
Oh, that's great.
F the Knights.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is
So
awesome.
that was apparently I don't know if you heard the backstory on it, but apparently now because the Sharks are, I don't know if they're desperate for fans, but I think it was fan appreciation night too. They said if you buy 10 tickets, you can put whatever you want up on the board.
Nice.
And some fan did this. This was not through the Sharks themselves. I'm guessing the Sharks did not. Well, I know they didn't catch it, but
or they
yeah.
did and they laughed. They're like, watch
Yes,
us
they
do
did.
something funny.
but that was brilliant of whoever thought to do that. And now I can guarantee you will be seeing that on a lot more stadiums, or they'll look a little closer.
That's awesome. So, Mark Wilkins a little bit ago, Andrew had said, basically was thanking us, which we definitely appreciate.
Mhm.
And he said, and also thanks to Andrew for all of his hard work off the bench. So,
Yeah, that's literally what it was. He called me at 7:00 on a Wednesday and said,
You got time?
freaking out here. I don't know what to do. I can't do the show without you. Can you please help save the show? And I said, okay.
yeah, the first time I called you, I think I called you like at 7:35. What are you doing tonight? You're like, nothing. Why?
Yeah.
I'm like, want to hop on? You're like, seriously? Let me call you right back. Let me talk to the wifey. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And
Yeah.
who knew that you would be the most featured guest? Obviously, in Shep's absence after he took a hiatus. We Steph and I want to thank you for all of your contributions as well, being the pseudo fourth host.
Yeah.
And the frequency, and of course, your friendship beyond that, all of the conversations we've had in private, and the fact
In
that
public.
the fact that your daughter's one of our biggest fans. I mean, check that out.
Yeah, she was a little sad she couldn't be on tonight, but
wake her ass up. Come on. This is the last episode. There's
I'm not dealing with that tomorrow. No, it's been a lot of fun, and it was I can't remember I remember the first time I went on. I don't remember when it was, but it was at my old house, even for that's how long ago it was. And I remember being super nervous for why I don't know, but each time it came on, get more and more comfortable, and it was a lot of fun. And it was one of those things where you listen to the podcast for a few months before I got on, went back and watched them all, or watched all the episodes, and then I got to be on it, and then I said, oh, never want to watch the ones that I'm on. That's for sure.
It's funny because my dad said he had watched episode 0 or 1 or something like that the other day, and how tight and robotic we sounded. And it's like, yeah, it's a little nervous because you don't know what the heck you're doing. And after, the first couple of months went by, we got a lot more fluid and a lot more comfortable, and, people started listening, and, there's probably a lot of repetition in what we said at the beginning about I collect Oakland A's cards. That's how I PC. But over time you start to, develop the show a little bit. But yeah, I can, it's always nervous the first time. I mean, I'll tell you what, I've honestly never really been that nervous ever to do this show, and we do it live, and we don't know how many people listen all the time, so you never know. But the most nervous I ever was the evening that Steph and I had Dr. Jim Beckett on. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He's coming on tonight. And I mentioned it to my boss at the time. He goes, man, you've never talked about being nervous on the pod. I'm like, I'm not. Because we've really created this environment of it's us and our friends.
Mm-hmm.
We're in our homes. We're just relaxed. It's, we're in our, it's just us and our friends talking about whatever's going on this week. Sometimes serious things, sometimes not so serious things. And
mostly not serious things.
Mostly positive all the time too. Hardly any negative stuff ever.
Don't go and watch that, man.
Episode 109.
109. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know who all's still listening, watching live, but Jeff, Rich, Herman, Mark Wilkins, Scott, Ian, hop on. Somebody hop on. Come say hi, even if it's just to say hi and hop back out. You don't have to hang out all night with us.
Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Wait, no,
did you notice? Of course, I had to bust out the soccer jersey because, of course, even though this thing's way old and doesn't fit, but
have you gained your pandemic 15?
That's what I'll say. It was during the pandemic, yeah.
What's weird is for the first time in 4 years, I feel like I'm completely disconnected from the hobby because there's no show notes to tell me.
Hey.
I mean, we literally did this show just so we knew what was going on in the hobby.
Hey, Angela.
Herman, what's up, He-Man?
What's going on?
Not much. How y'all guys doing?
Good. How's Matt Olson doing over there for you?
He's looking pretty good.
You know what? Shut up. Stop.
Of course, they blew the game tonight. Came back and lost it in extra innings. So
good for them. I was rooting for the other team, whoever they were playing.
The Cubbies.
Yeah, huge Cubs fan tonight.
Someone requested it.
We know, He-Man, that you've been one of our longest and most supportive listeners. I mean, you've always, and you're on the East Coast, so you stay up way to the early morning.
Yeah, so like what, 4:30 in the morning now?
So what?
I said it's what, like 4:30 in the morning there?
No, it's 11:30. Y'all go off here about 1. So
Yeah, so we want to thank you, of course, for all your support. I know you've been on twice, I think, as a co-host, and you staying up late and being sleep deprived on Thursdays. We appreciate it. You've been a good friend to both Steph and I throughout the years, and supporter of the show, and absolutely really appreciate all of your support, kindness.
Definitely.
Even though you're a Braves fan, you stole Matt Olson. I will hate you for the
Let's
next.
be honest. Let's be honest.
Well,
The A's gave him up. The Braves did not steal anybody. We all know that Oakland did not want. Oakland doesn't keep their players.
Now we're just
Oakland
parsing
doesn't pay their
words.
players.
Yeah.
So can we just agree that Gant fell?
No.
No way. No.
Never.
So Jeff Pitchford said, "Hate to see the show go. Enjoyed it. Hope you guys come back, even if it's once a month or maybe every other week." See you guys on Twitter. Jeff, thank you for your support. We appreciate those kind words. Again, we're just a couple of guys that got together and talked every Wednesday night. And Johnny ripped it. Congrats on 200. Gonna miss my Wednesday nights listening to you guys. Johnny ripped it. Anytime you want to get together, Tracy's 45, 50 minutes away from me. Meet halfway in Stockton, or I'll drive to Tracy. We'll go out for
Stockton. No, thank
coffee.
you.
Hey, Stockton is a very nice place to drive through as fast as you possibly can.
That's exactly what someone told me about Stockton. They said you'll know you're in Stockton when all of a sudden you're just driving and you get angry for no reason. That's how you know you're in Stockton.
Where
Wow,
I live 20 miles north of Stockton, and it smells like dairy farm. Why? Because there's all dairy farms. So literally, when I get close and you start smelling the aroma of cow, you're like, I'm home. Mr. Wilkins, thank you so much.
Welcome,
How's it going, guys?
Look at you.
I'm in the choir room of the school that I work at, so I only got a couple minutes to steal, but I wanted to, once again, thank you guys for all the hard work that you do for the hobby. And I'm really going to be sad. I don't have anything to do for the next, Wednesday night for the last hour and a half of my shift. So I'm going to have to find another podcast to listen to or something like that. But
how about you
Just
just
listen
watch
from the
them over?
beginning. There's multiple.
I have
episodes.
listened to the show very recently. I started at the beginning of the pandemic with you guys. So I was trying to think of the top episodes. I think my favorite is still the Brian Gray episode because Ben and him kind of went round and round, and it just made me laugh. And Brian's just so full of himself that it's entertaining to see
That
him.
got
at any time.
reused in other people's YouTube videos, so I'm
It
very
did
impressed
recently.
with that episode.
Yeah, I like that. I did remember. I just listened to the Hey Angela episode the other day, but I don't remember. I just have it kind of randomly streaming. I don't remember what episode it was, so I tried to find it, but that's always pretty entertaining too. Or the random cats that make it into the episodes, or all the random stuff that happened. I think one time you were in Ohio or something like that, and I said it sounded like you guys were at the SPCA or animal shelter or something like that.
Oh yeah,
But-
his aunt's cats were just clawing at this door to get in
She
because they're like,
has
we
2 birds, 5 cats, and plus or minus a few animals outside. There's
How
a
do you keep
possum.
birds
There's a
and cats
couple
in the same house.
foxes.
it's called a
So I've got
cave.
like bucket lists that involve cards. So one of them is to go to the Dallas show. So I'm gonna have to meet up with you guys down in
Come
Dallas
down.
one of these
Let us know
times.
when you're here.
And then California, my daughter lives in Los Angeles, so I might have to see if Andrew wants to get some In-N-Out burger or something when I'm there.
Hey, when you come over here, let me know if I can shoot down I-5. I'll come down. And,
I actually would like to make it up to Northern California to see the Mojo Break guys too, and Tim's store.
Yeah.
So those are my card bucket list. So
Nice.
But anyway, I got to go get back to work since I'm
Yeah.
getting paid for it all. I just wanted to say goodbye to you guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Hey,
Thank
Mark,
Thanks.
don't be a stranger. Grab my number on the Twitter if you don't have it. I don't know if I
All
gave
right.
it to you or not.
That sounds great, guys. Thanks again for the hard work, and we'll catch you next time.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah. Awesome. Nick Wasika, hop on, brother. If you're out there still listening, grab the link. I think you got it on the Twitter.
Yeah, we've never been able to keep a bird in the house with a cat. Even in a cage, we can hang it from the ceiling, and somehow or another the cat finds a way to torture the bird.
Yeah.
I
just
get it.
having to
About
get rid of it. Well, it's either that or the cat's going to kill it one way or the other.
Oh yeah, this guy Sparky, his new favorite pastime is to watch bird birds on YouTube. So he now attacks the TV occasionally.
So check this out, guys. So I was cleaning out my living room the other day, cleaning out some old boxes, and I saw I had a box from Topps arrive. And I was like, oh, crap. What did I buy from Topps and just completely forget? So I opened it up, and apparently it was the Project 70 Will Clark Snoop Dogg one that I had sitting in the box just for a month and completely forgot about it. And, of course, I got my first rainbow foil. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Look at you.
Which sucks because, well, it doesn't suck. I literally almost bought one online because I was like, I didn't get one, but I completely forgot that had it sitting in a box. Well, didn't even know it was sitting in a box. But
For example,
this is Sparky's favorite.
mind you, I have it on double speed right now, but he'll just sit at the base of the TV and cackle at the birds as they fly up and on the screen.
And he turns on and off the surround sound because it's touch sensitive. So,
Andrew, did you end up getting one of the Will Clark prints from Topps Living?
No, because you guys didn't tell me about it.
I whiffed
until it was too late.
I was on the phone with Matt Major, and he's like, make sure you call Andrew. And I was like, I'll call him as soon as we hang up. And I forgot. And like the next day, I'm like, well, hopefully he grabbed one.
No, I was so mad. My boss told me at like 11 o'clock that day, and it had sold out. I'm like, who was buying Will Clark? Let's be honest. I'm the only one who should be doing that.
God, right now I could I should have bought one and totally held that over your head. Like,
Yeah, I got a bunch of Ace cards sitting here for you. So
damn, that means if I bought one, I would have to send it to you for free.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So you grab one on eBay. They'll be around.
Yeah,
you'll pay more, but you can get one. You're worth it. Just look.
That's what I keep telling myself.
Yeah. Have your wife call me. I'll explain it to her. I'll be like, listen, he is worth it. So I think He-Man dropped. If He-Man dropped, we appreciate all his support over the years. Thank you so much.
Maybe see you at the National this year? I saw the sign.
Who are you talking to? Andrew?
Herman?
What?
Herman left.
Herman left.
I know. I'm assuming that he'll end up listening.
One of those days I'll go to the National. Maybe I'll stop by Dallas. I got to stop by Corpus Christi to go check out a Hooks game.
Okay.
If you're in the YouTube chat, you can hop on like Scott Hermanson just did. Scott, listen to me.
From the grocery store?
I don't know why you hate 1987 Topps so bad, but
from the day those cards came out, I thought they were ugly. They reminded me of the 1962, which for the longest time I refused to buy because they were so friggin' ugly. The 1987 Flair with that nice blue border was so much prettier. I want to know if you successfully took that time trip to go back to 1987 to convince me that the Topps were better, but no, they're not. And I say this with the fact that I've got over 40,000 of those things. A guy who you guys would never have heard of, Rex Bacon, who ran Hawaiian Brothers baseball cards over on Fair Oaks Boulevard. I walked in his store one day as he completed this big trade, and the guy gave him 10 shopping bags full of 1987 cards. And as soon as the guy, shopping bags, yes. And as soon as the guy walked out, Rex turned to me and goes, "Hey, Scott, do you want these?" So I had been hauling around. At that point, it was like 35,000. 5,000 more. It's like every time someone wants to, package up a package, more and more 1987 Topps come in. So now I'm around 40,000. I have three 5,000 count boxes full, plus I have 11 working sets. And I've got about I'm no Ben, but I've got 50 of the McGuire, just because that's 50, that's 50 Ben doesn't get.
You only need 11 of them to complete your sets. What?
Well, you see, the reason I had 11 sets is that's how many McGuire's I got in 1987. That's how I settled on 11 sets. I had 11
You don't even like
McGuire's.
them. You hate the set. You don't even need, just have.
But
You only need
McGuire,
one. One is
but
only.
McGuire. And again,
You get divorced. I can just hear the judge telling your ex-wife, like, "Ma'am, you are eligible to get 20,000 of these 1987 Topps cards," and she's like, "Yeah, I know. Are you going to take them?" No.
Yeah.
well, sir, yeah, we might want to discuss that. I've actually been separated for 16 years, and we finally decided we are going to finish the damn paperwork and make it official. And yes, I get all of the sports memorabilia.
Hey.
Is there any way I can get in there to get those other 39 McGuire's you don't need?
Well, they're actually, it's really funny. I've talked about my infamous man cave. It finally overwhelmed me because I've been buying so many cards through various auctions. I love the guys that say, "What cards did you get in the mail today?" And I've got 12 packages. So this past weekend, I actually rented another storage unit and moved most of the baseball cards out of my apartment so I could breathe again. And yes, all the McGuire's went over to storage.
You don't
That's
even
where they
appreciate them
belong.
the way I do. Scotty, come on, my man. We do need to get together for lunch or dinner or something like that.
You did hear the fact that I buy these just because if I have them, you can't.
That's right. But
That's the best reason to buy them.
somehow I weasel them out of you over a nice romantic candlelit dinner or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and by the way, what's this bagging on Stockton? Me and Brian Bice sit there in the front row for the Stockton Ports, watching our Oakland A's from 5 years from now on a weekend basis. So don't be bagging on Stockton. That's where our A's start at.
It is a gorgeous stadium. I will give you that. And the Stockton Ports did right by Brian when his daughter unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, and the Ports organization was tremendous. So there's one. I got a job interview actually in Stockton on Friday. So
well, good. Yeah, I'm getting better, but it's been weird because I basically am sitting in Carmen's seat.
Look at that.
It's a little weird, but I'm getting used to it. It's it's our third year now, and Brian and Melissa and I we're actually gonna road trip to Vegas to see the AAA A's, no less. So if you ever want to get into this minor league thing, we can hook you up.
I bet you can. I will do it for you, Scott. The cost is the 39 McGuire's and any Fleers you have laying around. Because honestly, I mean, the Fleer and the Donruss were gorgeous cards in '87. It was maybe if you just isolated to 81 on and just did like three, as long as Donruss and Fleer were both around, I mean, you can't beat 87 as a group of three.
Yep. I mean, I can't speak to how they looked in '87, but
yeah.
Well,
I laugh when you all talk about y'all were starting, 87, 88, 89. By then I had started collecting. I quit for high school and had started again. It was in like my 5th year collecting, and you all were talking about the first year you collected, but I can tell you those last few years, 87, 88, 89, all of the card sets were getting very boring, those designs. So when Upper Deck came strolling into the stores and into the conventions, and I had the opportunity to work the National in Arlington in '85 and the National in San Francisco in 1986.
We were just at that facility.
There's now a show back at the Arlington facility.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I had a lot of fun there. It was great there with the stadium. The Rangers actually sent a clubhouse guy with barrels of bats, and I bought an Odeby McDowell and Don Slott cracked bat for $10 each, straight from the guy from the Rangers. And I always love being able to get autographs between the stadium and the Sheraton or the Hilton or whatever hotel was over there. that's how I got Sparky Anderson over there. I got Phil Necro there. It was really great for the visiting teams. Never really did figure out how to get Ranger autographs in Arlington Stadium, but yeah, it's really cool. Now I got to come back now because, of course, they built another stadium. I actually took my
Right across the
baby.
street.
Yeah, I took my baby daughter. We were preparing to move to Texas.
Okay.
We actually were in the second stadium for the third game. And then I also got to see the fourth game in Enron Field, which it's still weird how that happened, but I got to see the two new Texas stadiums right after they were built. Now they built this other one, so I got to come back to Dallas one of these days. And I've always wanted to go see a Frisco Rough Rider game, and
Great stadium.
I hear there's some team out in Midland that I might be interested in too.
Ew.
Anyways, usually I end up listening to you guys when I get off work. I'm sitting out here in front of my Home Depot. I'm doing a real good job of supervisor tonight, sitting out here, talking. But it's made my Wednesday night. Most of the time I did try at first to listen live, but it just didn't work well. So pretty much, I would sit here and I'd watch and make sure. And literally, as soon as you finished the broadcast, I was coming on and immediately watching it. When I got home from work, and it's really made my Wednesday nights great. I'm going to miss you guys. I can't tell you the number of times. The only reason I knew to show up at the baseball card show over here in Sacramento is because you guys told me on Wednesday night when they were. And you notice I haven't been to one in about a year because I never know when the darn things are. So, I guess it's only fitting that finally on the last one, I finally go ahead and jump up here and say hello. So hello, world, and thank you for letting me ramble. Obviously, I could do this for a long time. I just realized this is my 50th year collecting. I actually started with the 1972 set.
Look at you. That's awesome.
And yeah.
And we'll never forget the most infamous picture. We're at a card show, and Brian Bice is there, Shep's there, and Shep and Brian and I decided we're going to take a picture of the three of us. And we didn't realize this, but Scott was in the picture too. His back is turned to us, and he's digging through a box. And so we're like, yeah, look at the picture of the three of us. And Scott's like, you mean the four of us? And we're like, what? And he's like, that's me back there. Great picture. I think Chef's got it somewhere. I'm sure we shared it and had a fun time.
Come on, I have vintage sets I got to complete. I love a good
1987.
Yeah, hey,
I'm
not there to take pictures with you guys. I'm there to dig.
Yeah, I love a dollar box. I love a quarter box, a dime box too. But you find a vintage box for $1, I'm all over that stuff. So yeah. Anyways, congratulations on just getting to 200, and I'm gonna miss you guys, but I know where to find at least two of you, and once I ever get back to Dallas, I'll have to get a hold of and meet Steph and Angela in person.
Definitely would love to.
Oh, definitely.
Scott, thank you. You know my number.
Yep.
Call me anytime. We'll get together soon, I'm sure, brother.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Love you, brother. Okay, who the hell let Zelsky on? So I have a question for you, Jeffrey. All of these months and months and months and months, you're like, I'm going to come on the About the Cards podcast and teach Ben a lesson on economics. So why not do it tonight?
If you like to be taught. I don't want to embarrass you on your last episode,
Yeah, no, I'd like to know your thoughts on the economic principle of dividing assets and declining values, please.
I think I could step in on that real quick.
I'd like to know what the L stands for.
I want to know how many Z's do you really have in your last name?
2, right?
2. One second.
Like the third and fourth one are silent.
Like, how's Scrabble work in your house?
I got a coworker. She spells her name in Scrabble letters on her, a Scrabble thing, right? I'm like, how would Zelsky do that? He'd have to buy like 6 sets.
No. Let's talk economics. Sure, go ahead. Let's go. Remember though, you blocked me. You're the one that blocked me. So I couldn't
unblocked
talk
you, though.
economics.
I unblocked you. That's because you were being irritating that day with you. You know, you're trying to start a war between me and Brian Gray. We don't need any help. We'll get there just fine ourselves.
No, from my understanding, you were getting slapped silly by Brian Gray.
No, I was really teaching him a lesson that day when he didn't understand why Topps Fanatics would announce their deal with the WWE before Panini had even released a product. And he's like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, let me explain to you why they would. Why would they publicly negotiate? And the more Brian said, the more I had to shut him down.
And then I got blocked for your rage.
You were just you inserted yourself and got smacked along the way. That's all that was. That was collateral damage.
Weakness.
I do have to say, we appreciate you as well. Kind of, sort of, maybe, as our last resort on nights when we could get Andrew, couldn't get Herman.
Resort. Wow.
We were literally looking up in like a 1988 Yellow Pages to see who might have known something about baseball cards back then, and we couldn't get the numbers were being disconnected, and we're like, oh, out of service. We're like, damn it. I guess
baseball's not a sport. Let's be real.
Come on.
How juiced was McGuire?
More than he needed to be, I'm sure, but he was damn
created great entertainment for that era. Okay,
all entertainment. Nobody cares if he shaved 8 years off of his life and can't make the Hall of Fame. We all watched the long ball, enjoyed him smacking around the ball, along with Sammy Sosa in '98, saved baseball, and who cares? And now, hey, it's what it is.
He needs to be another Canseco.
I mean, honestly, I mean, you know, if we want to extrapolate that topic, you have celebrities, movie actors, right? That they do drugs all the time. Who cares as long as they're good at the movie and the TV show they're in? I mean, it's their choice.
Or keeping clean sheets.
I got a picture of Johnny Depp in my bedroom from the movie Crybaby. Belongs to the wife, but.
Question for you. Somebody from the chat sent me this and wanted to know that whether you had applied for the alternative assets position.
Depends on what it pays.
Alternative assets.
Yeah. Depends on what it pays. Enough money, I'll say anything. You give me enough money. Give me enough money.
How much money would it take for you to say 85 Tops is better?
Depends. Let's start. Or
NFTs are an investable asset.
You know what? Like I said, if the paycheck is enough, I mean, how many people have sold their soul?
So we're talking like $3?
I don't know, $3.50. I mean, a large cold brew over at the Starbucks is like $3.95. So that's the starting point.
Where are you getting cold brew from at Starbucks? It's like $5 here.
Well, that's because you're in Texas. We're out here in California, land of the free, yes. Home of the non-taxable. Okay.
No, that's like 20 loonies worth of money, right there, Jeff.
What are loonies? You guys in this language.
So loonies are $1 coins because they have a loon on the background.
I have a question. You put up a poll about 87 versus 85. 13 people voted. What?
He didn't put the results.
6 of these people? 6 of these people decided that they were gonna say 85. Please come on here. Let's have a conversation right now. We got another hour. Let's have some fun. Let's argue.
We already were, but no. So a loonie is a $1 coin that has a loon on the back of it, and a toonie is a $2 version. They just call it that because.
I think I knew that at one point.
Oh,
look at that paper money.
No, it's not paper.
It's plastic.
Yeah, good luck ripping it and counterfeiting it like your bills.
It melts in the sun, though. So if I leave my wallet in the car, you might have no money.
And Herman, you wallet in a brick.
Right?
Yeah.
Herman, are you going to the National? I think Stephan asked you that earlier.
No.
It was right as he dropped. Oh, National. Okay, that's the George. See, I thought that was you announcing that you're going to the National.
No,
not one of your hobby goals this year.
Understandable. It's
so unaffordable. It is ridiculous.
Where is it this year?
Half the attendees are going to get shanked in Atlantic City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard it's really, really bad, like across the street from the facility.
Do not stray from
So
the very
it's maybe a
touristy part.
block or two from the boardwalk.
And then you have to like fly into Philly and then get there like somehow.
Yes.
I can't even fly in.
You have to
That's
fly
stupid.
into Philly, and then you gotta get on the train and go all the way over there.
Nope, not a chance.
so
Not
they-
a chance.
Maybe if they bring it to Atlanta.
Hey, I'll work in Stockton just fine because I know what the paycheck's going to look like. So I'll be all right.
Well, guys, real quick, I'm gonna have to go, but
Hey,
I wanted to let you know that I've really enjoyed it. I hate I missed Steph, but he was the reason I found the show back in I think the end of 2019, I believe.
Yeah.
That's right. I had actually found him on Twitter and bought some top loaders and I think pages or something from him. And when I looked at his profile on Twitter, saw about the cards where he had shared it, looked it up, watched my first episode, and then went back and like everybody else went back, listened to from episode 0 up and
The horror.
right. And been watching ever since. Enjoyed it. Gonna miss you guys. I know we're still on Twitter. We can talk on there, but like I said, and real quick before I go, you'll appreciate this, Ben. I shared this Monday night. I got this Monday in the mail. It's a Freddie Freeman 2010 Bowman Platinum. The good thing about it was that I didn't have the card. Don't know who sent it. There was no return address.
that sucks. I mean, it's
Well,
awesome.
look, this was on the back.
Oh.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
No,
I can't draw.
The postage stamp gave it away. I went back and looked at the postmark and got the city and got to looking back at some addresses to figure out who all I knew from that city and
who was it?
I'm like I told him I wouldn't share it on there.
Come on,
I'll tell you off.
nobody's listening. It's the last episode. Nobody's listening.
I'll tell you off, but I'm not going to do it on here.
Whisper into our good ear. Who is it? DM me because I do need to know. Also, if you weren't here at the top of the show, the 2022 factory
Yeah, I
sets.
saw that.
I bet you a Freeman's on the Braves, so you want to at least go check out the dude on eBay and.
So is that a separate set from like what you would get in the boxes?
Yeah, so it's
They're generally numbered differently too.
it's numbered OAK, so yours will probably be ATL. And as you can see, Chapman, Olson's there. You see Harrison from last year, Bassett, Chris Davis. So
you don't need the Olsen out of there.
Huh? Yeah, no, I do.
you don't need
green and
the
yellow still, man. But the checklist will be basically the team set with a couple of like rookies and maybe some guys from last year. So
Okay, I thought
numbered
it was
different.
I thought
It's generally the Series 1 guys plus or minus like 4 or 5 others. So it's a good tease of Series 2. And occasionally there's slight cropping differences, occasionally different photos entirely.
okay.
Yeah,
So
usually
what-
you may get a relief pitcher or something in there. Somebody
Where do
that
you pick them up at?
just go on eBay, just type in 2022
Okay.
Topps factory set. Matt Major is the one
What
that,
I just said.
yeah, Matt, if you're have the link handy, shoot it over to Herman on Twitter so that he can find whatever the seller's name is.
Okay. Yeah.
I have it I haven't left feedback, so I've got the seller's info too. So if he doesn't, hit me up tomorrow and I'll shoot it over to you. But you should just be able to look up 2022 factory Atlanta Braves. And like I said, they're probably $7-8 plus $3-4 shipping. It's not bad. Yeah.
All right.
So Zalski, where's Maddie?
You ask me. He's probably sleeping, like you said.
That's fair.
That guy hibernates. He never talks.
He is East Coast.
That's his problem. He could have stayed up for the final night. He could have popped in. Come
All
on,
right,
Never,
Maddie.
never happened.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Herman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good night. Get some sleep.
Yeah, it's gonna
Speaking
be
of East Coast.
it's gonna be weird next week. I mean, I know Steph had a few episodes off. I took a couple of episodes off, a few months back in November when I had a health scare, and intermittently once in a while, one of us would have to miss an episode for something. But next Wednesday is going to be weird coming home and not having this, after 4 years of preparation and back and forth with Tim and Steph and, other individuals that shared stuff with us to talk about on the podcast. It's going to be very odd next week. I don't know if that's a good odd or a bad odd.
Maybe you're tricking us and Brian Gray's episode 201.
A lot of people have asked us if we'd be willing to do just a once a month show, commit to 12 shows a year. So, perhaps take the summer off and reset the mind. I know the Loeffler's got a lot going on. I've got a lot going on. Let's kind of take a few months off and perhaps come back.
It's going to be different traveling without the mic, because at one point last year we were traveling with the mic.
The mic stand, the computer.
Oh, it was kind of ridiculous, the mobile setup. There's an episode that you will see that was already referred to earlier in the show about the cat that was trying to get into the room that he was using. That was very not in our house and was not our cat. So.
Yeah.
There's a few of those actually, where it was not our house and not our cat. Because there was the one that you did while you were house sitting.
Mm-hmm. There's one, I think, where I went through and showed everyone the aunt's house and then popped next to Lily in her room.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's out there in the chat room, you guys want to hop on? Anybody has the link, needs the link, wants to hop on just for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, you're welcome to. We'd like to chat with you. Scott Hermanson, somebody who'd listened all this time but never had hopped on. Mark Wilkins, another one. Waits until episode 200 to hop on would be awesome. We'd love to see your face and say hi, say thank you for the continued support.
Loonies are the cold ones, Ben.
I forget. There was something where I found that out one time, and maybe it was on like Pawn Stars or something. Like, what's a loony? And I'm like, oh, Zelsky. Got it.
You're going to be able to sleep well tonight, Ben. You saw my face.
I will. I usually do that at night. I look up your face and I'm like, oh, look at that.
I can show the picture that I've been texting you.
No, this is still G-rated show.
Probably not.
Maybe let a curse word fly.
Do I even want to know?
No,
well, for anybody that doesn't know, we're not going to explain what the picture is, but there's a very inappropriate picture that Stephan has sent me pretty much every episode, sometime like right in the middle of a rant or something. My phone will go off, and it's like, look over, it says Stephan Loeffler image. I'm not opening that. The exact same image.
I didn't know what was going on last week, and I did open the image.
We've shared it with a few folks after the show has been off the air, and I'm like, dudes, if I look at my text messages with Steph, it's like image. Oh, word. This time he sent something legitimate, and then we're every Wednesday. As soon as we went live tonight, there it was. So I'll get that picture every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 Central.
Maybe we'll continue that tradition.
It might be a nice Easter egg for people to go back the last 10 or so episodes to try to see when it was that Ben saw the picture. Also, Jeff, check your Twitter DM.
I'm not saying if you open something up from Steph over the next week, it's going to be, like spam or something, like somebody hacked. It's just not going to be.
No, that's Angela, apparently. By the way, she's changed her password, so that shouldn't happen again.
Yeah, my Facebook got hacked this week, guys. Sorry. Or apparently it was hacked for a while, but finally started doing weird stuff.
Dark.
So I don't use Facebook, so it took me a while to figure that one out.
Facebook went from let's keep updated with our family members to, let's share cat pictures to now let's just share memes and say stupid things like Nolan Ryan is the top 10 pitcher of all time. Come on.
I save my Facebook literally only in case I have to get a hold of one of those weird cousins that I don't keep up with. So
my uncle passed away in 2012, and by the grace of whoever was there through Facebook, we were able to get a hold of all of the family members. And within like 3 days, we were able to put together a memorial at a Chevy's in Vallejo because they had like this big side room that was able to host the better part of like 70 people. And he was a blues legend in the Bay Area, named Johnny Nitro and the Door Slammers. And so, I mean, his band was like, hey, can we come? Because we weren't able to have a traditional funeral for him. And, you know, that was awesome. And thank you, Facebook, for that. But that was the last time I would thank Facebook for anything other than awesome material for this show, because the loot in some of those groups, I mean, guys were peddling, I have 2,000 Nolan Ryan cards for $1,300. Like, seriously? You know, guys like, I got a rookie card lot, $55. You get the 85 Puckett. You get an 85 McGuire. You get, Calvin Schiraldi and, Todd Van Poppel. And it's like, these guys, no, come on. No. It's like, maybe you've got $25 there trying to get 55 out of it. Good for you, my friend.
That's actually not so bad of a splurge. I've seen some pretty bad ones.
Some of the other ones, but still, you're overpaying for. Basically, you're buying the 2 Puckets and the McGuire and getting all the rest of the crap. I mean, you're getting like a Joey Bell 89 score. It's like, I'm not paying, an average cost would have made that about a $6 card. It's like, I don't think that's a $6 card. I can buy the whole set of 89 score for $6. It's just like, that was a great.
It's like a $5 hobby box, man. I national all day long. $5, please.
If the show's ending forever, I left that group this week because there's just no reason for me to get a headache looking at that stuff. People are like, why are you still on Facebook? It's like, because it's great material. Lots of fun baseball card groups that give you a lot of good commentary and knucklehead stuff for the show. But if the show's not here anymore, now we're going back to just seeing what Grandma's doing this week.
Andrew, do you by chance have any intel or information on hockey releases, like when they're actually going to be released?
We're not doing stuff like that tonight. We're not talking about hockey tonight. We did that during the show.
That's educational, Benjamin.
I probably don't have any more intel than what you can find online.
I mean, we did end up with blasters with the oversized Young Guns in them. 3.
I got an image from Stephan. It's not the same one.
Yeah, but aren't blasters supposed to? I don't even like those.
Not all of them do.
Like wasted cardboard.
They're interesting.
Right.
Yeah, they're interesting.
I was going to ask you if you had any insight on any of the Tim Horton set.
Ooh.
What about it?
Do you have any insight about it?
Well, like they've already released it, right? So
I don't know when it even came out.
Yeah, so there's like 2 waves.
There's like the Team Canada one, right?
Yeah, so there's initially, before that, there was like the NHL early in the season. And then Team Canada was released like right after Christmas, I believe. What are you doing, Stephan?
He just sent pictures to everybody. He's waiting for people to open them up.
The show's the show floor is open. Me and Ben will just sit back. We've talked enough.
We've talked for 200 Wednesday nights in a row.
What people didn't realize is there's a second wave. But I already knew that. Like, obviously I have like multiple like intel, but like I already knew that from Tim Hortons. Like, Tim Hortons is so open about it, just from a corporate standpoint. You could just walk in and they'll be like, oh, just so you know, there's like a second wave coming. Then like I was like, okay, cool. So they're done though. This year they're done. That being said, I've been told that Series 2, I don't know if you do much breaking. I know Stephan buys like every friggin' blaster at Walmart. But I believe Series 2 is going to be like, I hope, June, and it makes sense. From what I've been told, it's going to be like the week before the Sports Card Expo, just because, of course, they can just mass like sell at the Sports Card Expo. But that's extremely late. That is like literally mid-playoffs.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have extended like October, which is going to be absurd. Like, you're going to start a new hockey season and not even have your old products done.
Well, they just released Prism draft picks for basketball now that the playoffs started. The whole season late. So
yeah,
they're not the only ones, at least.
Big league.
And then like MVP,
Big league.
like next year's MVP is going to be like the same week as extended, from what I understand. But like all the pre-orders, like regardless of like pre-orders and Intel and all that stuff, everything still gets pushed back. Like pre-orders are just more or less like not even a scam at this point, but it's just like money laundering.
No, what's money laundering is redemptions, okay?
Angela, don't make me go buy redemptions.
Please don't.
I can
To all of you
deactivate
out there
your
in
account.
Ether, do not buy redemption cards from anyone or anywhere. They are a scam.
I would highly recommend buying redemption cards from that place that Stephan has his t-shirt on. Then inquire about that redemption through customer service, and we'll be happy to assist you.
I'm just saying, Ben, you keep taunting me about buying blasters. I'm just going to keep.
Oh, no, not this. Ben, he needs help.
I just got
What is
tagged
it?
in this on the Twitter. Somebody asked if this was a good deal. On the real, it's a 9
Ooh,
9 for $25. Check it out
in
though.
the flip case.
Look at that.
1997.
It's 97. I don't have a 97 that looks like that. I have a lot of 87s that look like that.
Wait,
but
is
not
the
90.
PSA label says that too?
It does not.
It does
No, it
not.
says 87.
Boo.
Because otherwise I might want it. But
Ben almost got duped.
yeah, no, I'd been like, oh, this is the 97 variation. Sweet.
Oh, this isn't the one that says leaf dot ink dot.
Oh, dot, no dot.
Don't get me
I have to
started.
have that.
Notes,
Of
double
course,
to
you have to have that. You have to have them all.
Thanks.
A or B sheet.
Yeah.
Glow in the dark.
If I gave Steph my database and asked this man, I said, hey, database, if you want to put, listen, Jeff, if you want to put everything, Vinatieri, if you want to put everything in there that I need, I bet it would implicate with all of these different variations.
Mm-hmm.
One is all you need. You just need the base.
No.
Anybody that has
Need
two
all
of
the
same
errors,
card is
the
called a
variations. Like you'd keep it reasonable. You go only to number from no number to number down 25.
That's pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tough for some of the older stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just means
Yep.
you have more searching to do.
We don't collect cards anymore. We only invest.
I've cleaned out Will
Nobody
Clark
collects.
from
We just
ComC
invest.
for the past 3 years. There's nothing from ComC on Will Clark that I've needed for the past 3 years.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Are you sure about that?
that I don't already have.
Are you using an RSS feeder to tell you?
No, I just look every day at what's new.
You have a database about your Will Clark cards? Because we could be best friends if you have one too.
It's solid, we'll say. It's a pretty large one.
How many
It's
super
an
factors
Excel.
do you have?
Supers? I don't know if I have any supers. I got a few printing plates though.
Are you willing to go like that crazy with them?
If
If
I
they
see
appear?
them. If I see them, I mean, people, the 22 silver pack chrome superfractor, someone's asking $1,000 for it, which is just ridiculous.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. So when he drops it to 200 to 300, maybe, but
So Benjamin, what are your thoughts on licensed cards? You probably spoke about this briefly before.
Briefly. This is Ben we're talking about, right?
Benjamin, it's Benjamin.
I love unlicensed cards because I collect teams and player, or team and player, right? So for me, they don't bother me because they fit well into my PC personally. I understand when people go on Facebook and say stupid stuff like Panini is trash. The baseball cards. It's like it's not. It just doesn't hold the monetary worth over time because it's unlicensed and people want the logo. But
Correct.
there's plenty of good stuff out there in baseball for player and team collectors.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
you're
what are
not
your thoughts
making
on like the university stuff that was just released now, and like pre-university and all this stuff coming through tops and whatever.
Like the 16-year-old that's featured in a basketball set.
like the 13 under crap. I'm good with that stuff. I mean,
but don't forget, Stars and Stripes has been having that for years.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
That's nothing new on
15,
theirs.
14,
Yeah, why-
somewhere on there.
They got the
Why does
14
Stripes
under.
have to do a whammy card, super short print? It's the only Maguire on the ding checklist, and it's like
Same
200
with,
bucks.
same with Clark.
Stupid. I don't need it. Technically, I don't need it because I'm a A's collector, and it's not an A's card. If I'm a Maguire collector, then that's where it gets convoluted.
But what about if
Yep.
it says Oakland at the bottom?
Does
I
it?
don't think they do.
It wouldn't because it's college, so it'd say USA.
Oh.
I don't think they do say.
Would it though?
See, and then Ivan, watch the breaks, right? Ivan comes at me and he's like, "America first, right? Where's your patriotic?" And I'm like,
Screw
"Dang
the
it, Ivan,
Canucks."
you're right. America, right? I mean, it's oh, the show just got better without Zelski. Oh, hi, Jeff.
So let's be
Okay.
honest. At some point, you're gonna have AAA baseball. Are you the type to like collect the whole AAA of like the A's? Then Or are
I've
you just
never
gonna-
collected minor league stuff other than some team sets that I've come across. I've never sought them out. If they found me, it's different. You're at a show, and it's $2 for a minor league set. I've got the Canseco's and the Maguires, the Ricky Henderson from '79, some Mike Gallegos and Walt Weiss stuff, but it's I don't have a desire to collect that stuff personally.
even if they're a prospect, like an official A prospect in AAA.
Well, like Bowman stuff, I'll collect Bowman stuff, but it's just the team set. Once in a while, I get stupid with like an AJ Puck rainbow or something, but I met the guy a few times.
But
Whoa,
it's just
Benjamin's dad.
stupid with like an AJ Puck.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Benjamin's dad.
Close your browser though.
Kill the YouTube.
Close my browser.
Close the YouTube.
Yes. Benjamin's dad.
Close the YouTube.
Close your browser though.
I don't get it.
This is like watching Rich struggle with tech.
Did I do it right?
Let's see. Can you hear it? Can I hear myself? Can you hear myself?
I think we.
I think you're good.
I think you're
I think
good.
you got it.
I think so.
There's Ben.
I think we're okay.
Okay. All
We're trying to see
right.
what bobbleheads are on the shoulder, the structure to your right.
Oh, my Beatles collection.
Yeah, Beatles collection.
Hoyle will like that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, nobody's talking.
Well,
We were
Came on.
expecting you
We
to.
we were waiting for you to say how awesome and intelligent your son was.
Hence
Well-
why it was quiet.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys. I'm going to miss most of you on Wednesday nights, but I won't miss Ben on Wednesday nights because I live in the
No,
same
you
house
just want to
with
get rid of them on Wednesday nights.
yeah, so I'll be able to go to him and ask him for all the important information that I'm missing out on the podcast all
You don't
throughout
need
the week.
to take him to Denny's at 8 p.m. Pacific on Wednesday.
That's
They have
it.
good coffee.
Yep.
We may or may not have a Denny's coffee mug from the 80s.
Mm-hmm. It's down there
Well,
somewhere.
I have to say, guys, yeah, I just wanted to say how enjoyable it's been on Wednesday nights. I can lay in my bed and listen to the podcast, and sometimes I make it all the way through it. Sometimes I don't, but I'll tell you, episode number 178 was a great episode. I really
See,
really
now
enjoyed
don't tap me because I can just as easily do this to you. Welcome back.
Welcome
this,
back.
yeah, but your podcasts have been quite enjoyable. It's something to do on Wednesday evenings that just kind of give us good information. You've really created quite a community of collectors, and I think that will continue on, even though the podcast is not going to be happening on Wednesday nights. You guys have all made lots of good friends and acquaintances through this collecting and a real network, and helped a lot of young and old collectors feel a real part of it
and it made it more fun. It really, what you guys have done has really made the collecting of cards a lot more fun. Thank you.
No, absolutely.
Well,
Thanks for popping on. And I kind of lost a little respect that you sired Ben, but we'll have to live with that.
Well, hey, I tried my best. Yeah, he was my firstborn, so I had to try a couple
Everyone
more
burns the
times.
first pancake.
Yeah, you make corrections
You just
along
get
the
it
way.
Yeah, well,
I kind of resent that as being the oldest child.
Who are you telling?
You're the only child. They got it right the first time.
No, they're like, we don't know what'll come out next. The state of Minnesota issued a stop. No,
They broke the mold.
they're like you're allowed to go get animals to shelters down the road, but no, I know that my dad and I've had this conversation before. I know a lot of people enjoy just the casual, laid back style of our show, and the fact that it does come across as we've invited you into our homes. That's how it feels, and we've got that feedback a lot over the last 4 years, that it's just a comfortable show, but it's informative, and we've learned just as much from our listeners as we like to think that we've been the conduit for information along the way, and that, we appreciate everybody out there for listening. We really do.
So once a cub, Buddy tagged me in this and said, "Here's a peek at Junkwax Twins' influence on my collection. Spot the variation on Mike Harkey."
Is there something on his right
dots
shoulder?
on the left?
Yeah, on his right sleeve.
See, that's what I noticed almost immediately, were the two little white bluish dots there, and this one.
Is that not okay? Before you tell us what it is, that's not what we're supposed to see?
No, actually, there's a very clear difference if you look at it a little bit longer.
Okay, so we're looking at the 1989 Topps Mike Harkey Chicago Cubs Future Star card.
Yep.
And again, there are white dots on the left part of the card, which would be his right sleeve.
And left.
Yeah, and there's some on his left shoulder. That's not it?
Nope.
No.
The centering is different in the picture.
No.
Look at the spacing between Future and his cap.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Something, yeah.
Okay.
Like the
So
centering.
in one card, the E on the word future is right above the cap, and on the other card there's a noticeable.
But how is it, like, where's the difference to get to that point, though?
Different cropping on the photo.
So Matt believes those are probably just print flaws. Obviously, we'd have to bring in Ross Brink to dissect it and tell us exactly what's wrong with this. Because one card is also darker than the other on the Chicago Cubs jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly, yeah.
His eyebrow.
The background, you can see it.
There's a good bit of 90 Bowman that has this issue as well, where, for example, the pinstripes on the Twins jersey are washed out, so it's just a white jersey, but then they reprinted it and you can clearly see the jersey pinstripes.
So do you need a whole team set of that, or maybe just your favorite player?
Both.
See, this is why you get me in trouble. You and Hoyle. Hoyle's the other one. Hoyle's like, hey, you ever heard of this random set? Oh, I have to have that. And then you go on eBay and it's like, that random set's going to cost me $73,000. Thanks, Mark. So I leave it off my database.
So start saving.
No. You don't need to have everything.
Add a tab to the spreadsheet for a rainy day.
Oh, my
Things Steph thinks I could afford.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of that stuff probably during the junk wax era, just because they never turned off the printer, and they were pissing the stuff out so frequently that they didn't care. We didn't care as kids. If Mike Harkey was your guy, he's a future star. He's going to be the next whatever. He's the next Fergie Jenkins with my Cubbies, and then he wasn't. But at the time, you didn't care.
Well, gents, your favorite Canadian is going to go. It's a pleasure
Okay.
being on so many times and carrying the load. And
Did you
See you tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Cheers, Ben. Keep in touch. Don't block me too much. Andrew, always a pleasure. Benjamin's dad. You have a good kid sometimes.
See you, Zelski.
Ciao.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna head out too. Just want to thank you guys for, it's probably been 2 years now. I don't know if you guys remember how we actually connected first. It was I think it was 2020 Stars and Stripes. I think I had a base set for you guys.
I forgot about
opened
that.
the whole case. Yeah, that's how we first talked.
How about that? It's in my database. I have it. It's on the side with all the other sets.
So like Stars and Stripes always something to me. But yeah, it was great to getting to know you guys. Obviously, this isn't goodbye forever, but now I know I'll have free time on Wednesday nights.
That's right.
And I'm trying to get up to the Bay Area end of July. I think they're retiring somebody's number on July 30th, if I'm not mistaken.
They're doing Dave Stewart's in September against the White Sox, so LaRusso can be there.
Will Clark's is going to be on the 30th against the Cubbies, so I'm going to try and see if I can come up for that, and if I do, I'll try and swing up to Sacramento area. And
that'd be awesome.
Hit
and
you
if
up
you
for sure.
Tonight, I got couches.
Yeah.
All right, well, you camp out,
then,
man.
Like I said, trying to get to Texas. Got to go see my guy Shay. He got promoted to Double-A with the Hooks, and try and do that. But yeah, we'll be in touch. Thanks for everything. It's been fun.
Hey, we really we can't thank you enough. I mean, when Shep left a huge void, obviously, and when Stephan and I decided to keep it going, but we would have kind of a roving third guest. You pitched in a lot more than we had originally anticipated, and that was been awesome. Even doing it at 15 minutes, Steph's not feeling well tonight. 15 minutes before showtime, I need somebody. Can you hop on? And so, you came through a lot for us throughout the
interim. It was a lot of fun, and so it was never like a obligation or anything. It was always, I love talking about cards, and my wife enjoyed that I didn't have to talk to her about cards.
Like to reiterate my stance that I do have a mic, but I will not travel.
We've done the traveling with the mic thing. It's not fun. We do not suggest it to others. Just don't travel with a Yeti.
Well, thank you, Andrew.
All right, guys.
We appreciate everything, my friend.
Take care. Have a good one.
Enjoy.
See ya.
So what I was talking about for those at home, those that can skip through. If you look, for example, like right around here, around Kirby's 1990 scores, you'll see that his pinstripes are a little bit more washed out, whereas if you check the other one, they're a little bit more pronounced and darkened even.
If you can get both of them, why not? I mean, if it's but see, it's Puckett, right? Do you need the Gary Gaetti like that too?
Yes.
Yes.
And the Dan Gladden and the Greg Gagne, do you need them all?
of them.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You do, because you're you.
That's
what we love about you.
Had an update from Shep. Apparently, he just finished wrapping up, closing up the shop. He's on his way home. Hopes to join us then, which will be nice.
He'll be there for the final send off.
we'll probably be on until 10, so another half hour or so. If you're still hanging out with us in the YouTube chat,
There we go.
Like for example, this guy.
Look at that. We got another Tim, the better Tim.
Is
What's up, dude?
How's it
going?
Traded one hockey guy and got another one. This is an epidemic.
It did become a hockey podcast for a while, and it annoyed Ben quite a lot. Hopefully, you learned a little bit about hockey.
I learned just enough in Spanish and a couple of other topics when I was in high school just to get a grade, and you move on, right? It's
Well, see, that's the thing though, because once the A's leave, you'll have to find another sport to follow.
You son of a gun.
See, in here, I thought this was like the typical radio station changing formats. You were just flipping over to become a hockey podcast, right?
We were just going from like old school rock to smooth jazz.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
If
what I
only we
thought.
knew
was
of
It was
such a
White Snake and you get Kenny G.
Hey,
I absolutely, as a clarinet player, hate Kenny G and the way he holds his soprano saxophone. It drives me insane. I cannot watch him.
I talked
Do
to
not buy me the $300 tickets. I will not go.
I talked to a coworker one time and mentioned that I'm a huge Dave Koz fan, and she's like, "Oh, he's such a sellout. He's this, he's that." I'm like, I just enjoy his music. I didn't say I was getting married to the guy. I was just saying I like listening to him, and you know.
I do believe that was a cognac based on the photos. I'd meant to reply, He-Man.
So what are you up to tonight, Tim? What do you got for us?
nothing. I was just trying to like kill some time and get home and everything else. And I popped in on my way back here, so I figured I'd stop in and pay my respects.
We're not dying.
Yeah, basically, this is one big eulogy about the cards.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
It feels like that scene in
We're
Half
taking
Baked where
Ben out back.
he's like, you know, F you, you're cool, I'm out. Just like
Yeah, exactly. No, I just figured I'd stop in, see what's going on. You know.
Yeah.
Hate to see you guys hanging it up, but you'll be back.
We will be.
We need a
sucks.
vacation.
It always sucks you back. It doesn't matter how much you try to go away; it just keeps bringing you back. You know,
We'll be back. But hey, they still have you and Sal over at the Puck Junk podcast.
yeah, we're still doing it. He's been feeling under the weather, so we didn't record this week. But you know, we're still plugging out as much as we can. You know, we've gone our times where we've, you know, been very religious about putting shows out there, and then we've gone a couple years in between where we've actually done shows.
Been there and done that.
You know, but the good thing is we stay in the hobby. We still collect. We still have a a love for what it is that we do, and I think you guys all do too. So I'm sure this isn't the end.
No, it's just for right now. I think. I mean, at least that's how I feel. You know, if the guys are in, I'm in. But you know, it's been a long 4 years, and you know, both Steph and Ange work in the hobby as a 9 to 5 on top of coming home to this and
stretch.
Shameless plug there.
No, I was stretching my back.
I don't know how much time you and Sal put into your show each week, but you guys can empathize.
I put in none.
As a star, I just show up for showtime.
I pretty much just show up and
practice.
You know, they hand me a script and I throw it in the trash and then off we go. So
I will tell you,
I mean, you know, as far as like the actual time involved, trust me, I know. And if Sal puts in a ton of work into our show, and you know, with editing and the research and all of that kind of stuff. Plus, you know, he's forgotten more about hockey and the hockey hobby than I'll ever know. But you know, from my standpoint, I'm kind of I'm the fall guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, you know, I add my 2 cents and add a little flair and color in the background, and other than that, that's pretty much how it works. So
it's me.
But yeah, so trust me, I know, and I don't know how I could, you know, I don't know how the people do it that have the hobby, but also use it as a career, and like that's their job too. I have to keep.
It's not for the faint of heart, man.
Yeah, I have to keep them separate because it's a hobby and it's supposed to be fun, and I can't see anything that's working to be fun at all. That's just
people ask me for my want list all the time, and I'm like, I honestly
I'll
don't
get back
have,
to you.
I'll get back
5
to you,
years.
like, because I open stuff and I haven't taken care of any of it. Like, I am the queen of. I put it in a 5,000 count box, and I have no idea what I have.
Yeah. My desk has looked like that many times. In fact, it didn't look like that more than a couple of days ago till I cleaned it off. Tons of people sending me trades. You know, trying to build sets, getting stuff shipped. It's just like it piles up. And if you have a full-time job, and that is part of your full-time job, is dealing with the cards all day long, I think it'd be cool for a minute, and then I don't know. That's my
Get some inspiration, and then I get told, "Oh, I need this thing that I didn't know I needed,"
And then you find out you already had it.
and then you find out you already had it. There's a lot of that.
Trust me. I've run into that so many times over the years where you end up duplicating and sometimes triplicating everything that you have. I mean, I do my best to try to keep everything on spreadsheets and keep track of most of the stuff, but it gets out of hand after a while. So
Definitely.
and kind of have to step back sometimes, and if it's putting this on hold for a while you focus on other things, so be it. You definitely don't want to lose the love for it and make it seem like it's work. So if you have to put the curtain down, wait for the next act, that's what you got to do.
I don't know. For the first time in years, I thought about sorting Ginter Mindies and immediately took a nap instead. So
yeah, there you go. That's important.
Yeah, cousin Jimmy in the YouTube chat says he ran a shop for 6 years after his father-in-law had a stroke, and it wasn't even fun for a minute for him. So, it's one of those. Not to devalue that, Jimmy. I hope that he made it through, health-wise and came out on the back end. But the old adage about the landscaper's yard is never kempt. The housekeeper's house is always dirty. The accountant's books or his personal finances are always a mess.
The photographer's family never has pictures.
Yeah, you don't want to come home and.
First of all, I call that a lie. I've seen your parents' house.
Yeah, that's because my mother took those pictures, not the professional photographer.
It can be overwhelming, and again, we've personally never made a dime off this show. Not that we've ever wanted to, but again, much like you guys, right? A lot of it is a labor of love, and whether or not you want to put that time in there, and we both the Loefflers, myself, Shep, had personal stuff going on at different times over the last few years, for myself and Steph recently, and it's been. I don't want to say the show's been a burden because it's been nothing but a blessing, start to finish. But there have been times where it feels like an anchor, where it's like, man, I got to write the show notes because we've got Wednesday. It's Tuesday night, and it's like, the next time I can really catch my breath now is going to be Thursday. Tuesday night, last night, it's like, okay, today you get up at 6:00 in the morning, you go to work. By the time you get home, you eat. Showtime. It's 10:00. It's bedtime. Tomorrow morning, 6:00. It's work time, and before you know it, it's time to, go to bed. And you've lost 2-3 days of your life every week for 4 years. Oh, cousin Jimmy is Kakowski. So
Banned on Twitter, recovered, and ran the shop another 8 years.
Mr. Geary, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. The best Ben is on.
I don't know about that, but
wow.
Well, now there can only be one.
Bye, Benjamin.
It's not me. I'm not Benjamin.
Are you not?
I am not.
Really? Okay. So what are you then? Are you Bennett?
I'm just Ben.
Wow.
You don't have a full name?
Nope.
Are you serious?
That is my full name.
Interesting.
Still learning things about his name.
Yeah.
What's the thought process? What was mom and dad's thought process behind that?
Well, it's a little much. I don't know if I want to share it all here, but anyway, yeah, I'm a junior, but yeah, it's just Ben.
Cool. That's interesting. Yeah,
it's different.
Interesting. Yeah, it was weird. It's weird when you find out people, what their real name is when they go by something different. It's like, that's your real name, and or the fact, like when I found out Ben Savage's real name was Bennett, not Benjamin, I was like, what?
That is different. Yeah.
That's why we named Bentley versus Benjamin, because I didn't want a junior. And so it was like, how can we make him a junior? And so really came down to 3 names. It was either going to be Benedict, Bennett, or Bentley. And my wife's like, it's not Benedict. we got to Bennett and Bentley, and she's rubbing her tummy when she's pregnant, and she's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Try Mongoloid, see if he likes that name." Odysseus, and then she's like, "What about Bentley?" And he kicks, and she's like, "He named himself." So
pretty good. Like it.
I still was holding out hope for Benedict. So, I just want. I wanted to
curse that kid.
I wanted, even though Benedict Arnold, and historically speaking, it was more of his wife than him that was the, Anyway, I just wanted like a presidential name in one of my kids, right? And even though Benedict wasn't, it just sounds presidential. It sounds like it'd be a really cool judge's name someday. And so we were going to name our kid Jonathan Alexander when number 2 came along. And I was like, man, what about Theodore? And she's like, nah, I don't like that. And that's, she's like, Bentley's my monkey. And I'm like, but if you named him Theodore, John would be your teddy bear. And she goes, you son of a bitch, I'm in. So that's how he got Theodore as his middle name.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then I realized one day a while back, I'm like, I named my kid Ted. What is just a random, generic, basic name? No offense if there's Teds out there.
Could have had Bill and Ted.
Could have.
Oh.
Could have. I swear to God, I'm raising Beavis and Butthead. The more that I watch these two, and I know exactly which one is which too. It's just like my son Bentley is Butthead through and through. He's more devious, and John is just Beavis. He just goes along and does knucklehead stuff. And
which one likes fire?
I don't want to introduce that to either of them.
But you might not have a house or any McGuire's left if you introduce those kids to fire.
Just know they're Beavis and Butthead.
Hey Heather,
me.
Styrofoam gasoline. Never mind. Few people will get that reference.
I believe I put an Instagram live about how to burn cards. So
we did that again the other day.
We did.
Wait till they find out how nice McGuire cards sound in the bicycle spokes.
Mm-hmm.
You're really cruising for one tonight, aren't you?
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Look who's here.
Oh, my goodness.
What's up, everybody?
This guy.
How we all doing?
Look at you. You're looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Looks like you lost a little bit of weight. I know that was been a big personal achievement for you.
Yeah, about 100 pounds.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I see you still have no style when it comes to headgear, but okay.
Always.
No.
So I guess you need to change your username to Small Shep.
Yeah, nice. So episode 200, huh?
We did it.
We did it.
Hey, I mean, we couldn't have done it without you. It was, some random comment to me years and years ago. Let's do this. And it's like, yeah, whatever. And then here we are almost 4 years later.
Insane.
It's crazy to think about what, one conversation we had once upon a time about turning what did we know about doing a podcast?
Right.
I mean, I would like to say that Ben is your best friend and you were his friend first. So I'm blaming you for all of this.
Oh, okay.
And to be fair, you are the one who put the notice out there. And I quote, March 14th, 2018, at Our Trading Cards, we should do a podcast.
Look, it got 3 retweets and 4 likes all these years later. Nobody cared.
And I think the 2 of them have been us since after that point.
I'm sure 2 of them were probably, we're probably retweeting our own stuff. Let's get a following. But yeah, I remember when this thing started, we were calling friends and stuff like, hey, you got a YouTube sub? Yeah, I do. Can you go to this About the Cards page and hit like and subscribe? We're trying to get to 100.
Please.
Yeah.
So. It's been a wild ride, and it's funny enough that Steph's doing stuff with cards, I'm doing stuff with cards, and I just want to say all the connections, the people we've made, the friends we've made, the places we've been and seen, and what we've got to do just from having the show has been phenomenal. It's been more than I ever expected from when we first got together and did this.
It's been an honor to just not just be your guys' friends, to get mushy for a minute, but
Damn right.
to go on this ride together, and shared experiences and week in, week out, arguing and BSing about, shared passion and figuring out how to do this podcast thing together and building the brand. And I'm sure I haven't always been the easiest person to work with all my positivity, of course. Yeah.
So, hey, I gotta do a quick dirty plug since I hopped in here tonight after a fun day at work.
Of course.
Tomorrow, if you're not following us on Twitter, if you're not following True Sports Cards on Instagram or on Twitter, please do so. Check us out tomorrow. We're making a huge announcement about something big happening in November. So it's going to be it's pretty amazing. If you know what we've done at the shop so far, just imagine this on a grander scale. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
Oh, no.
And it's a beautiful shop. I've only personally been in there one time. And, I really enjoyed the back of the store, which has a lot of, priced autos, very affordable. If you want to go just pick through favorite players, favorite teams, probably do a little speculation in there if you want.
Investing.
Yeah, investing.
It's okay to say.
You can invest your time. Invest your time digging in the hot corner.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And I know you said you've added stuff since the time I was in there, but there was plenty to have a very full afternoon just based on what was there when I was there a long time ago, a few months back. So,
yeah, it's it's crazy. We have so many boxes of cards to dig through, and we added about 250,000 cards of inventory this last month to the sales floor. So
that's awesome. It really did have a feel of more of a modern day old school, if that makes sense, where modern day in the sense that it's got a lot of modern stuff, but it has that old school feel of you can just dig and dig and dig and dig. And probably not see everything. And, it's a nice location, right off the freeway. It's, it's convenient to get to if you're in the Roseville, Rockland, Greater Sacramento area. So, yeah,
a lot of fun. The reason I have this job is this podcast. I mean, the shop owner Emran actually is a listener to the podcast and saw me at the SAC show, heard my voice and didn't put name, and because he just listened, he didn't watch, and put my voice with the podcast, started talking, and next thing I know, running a baseball card shop every day. So it's crazy.
Amazing how many doors. I mean, I just had a memory the other day. I don't know if you made it down to the Vacaville or it was Fairfield, I think, show a year ago. I was going through a box, pulling out a bunch of 87 McGuire crap and some 87 Will Clarks for Andrew. And guys like, are you on About the Cards podcast? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I've never watched it. I've only listened. And because I was talking, yeah, same thing. And didn't turn into a card show, just turned into a really good deal on a bunch of cards I already had. But
I've equally had that at a Dallas show. I was like, hey, you're the podcaster guy, right? With Tim and the other guy?
Your Uncle Rick's coworker, huh?
Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one question for you. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
He goes, what's the deal with Ben? I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
That little man.
I had a nickel for every time I had to ask that question. I wouldn't have to work.
I know, we'd be millionaires. It'd be great.
Let's start a GoFundMe. Let's do it, guys. I'll be more if that's what people, if that's the exchange rate. Quit my job and get on Twitter full time.
Oh God, the world's not ready for that.
Especially now that Elon's allowing free speech. I mean, God knows how many people I could get blocked by in a day.
I just have a question. Is he gonna let normal people get verified now too? Is that gonna really be a thing?
It'd be great because we're not verified at all.
I need to be verified. Just
we have no check mark.
I don't know. I mean, I wrote a book and it's published, and I tried to get verified under that medium. Ben, have you ever done that? Just because you have the blog, have you ever tried to get verified and use that as the reason?
Well, they have there's a form you fill out, and one of the things I think they require is an official email address from the website. So because I don't have I own the web address, but I don't have an email account through like cardboardicons.com. So I never actually applied for it because honestly, like, who am I? You know what I mean? It'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. I think it's kind of neat when you see that kind of stuff pop up in our hobby circle. But yeah, I never actually applied for it.
Now I have to get verified. Now I have a goal.
Well, you already have a check mark. See?
Oh. I was trying to. I did like because I'm on my phone and I was like, "Is that Ben hanging out with us? The good Ben."
Yeah,
the good Ben.
People refer to
the best Ben. We already called him that. Yeah. He's BB.
Yeah.
Which, for what it's worth, we found out that his name is not Benjamin.
His name is actually Ben. Just
regular Ben.
Just
hey,
Ben.
Congratulations, the Oakland A's won a game.
Hey, look at that.
Like 3 people were in attendance, but
yeah,
and like 60 cats.
Yeah, you guys
More
have 60
than
cats.
people?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know Sparky would be like, "Why am I not attending? Because you don't like cars."
I got to tell you something. The hottest product in the shop right now, Topps Archive Signature Series.
So you haven't been around for a while, but just for saying that, goodbye.
Really?
I couldn't believe it.
What was the other?
I mean, it's still poop, but
yeah.
People buy it left and right, and I'm like, okay, good luck.
Okay.
I guess I'll order more of this.
Yeah, and I passed along the Topps ass, and so everybody in the shop's like, yeah, it is top. Like it's a big deal now. Topps ass.
Well, there's Topps ass, and what was the other one that we came up with last
I was
week?
just about to say it. There was one that we just came up with, Big League Larpo.
Archive Retired Player
Blarp.
Signature. Blarp.
Yeah, it's
Or
Big
active
League Archive Retired Player, something Blarp.
Archive Retired Signature Edition. Ars.
The price of all that stuff is up too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Archive Signatures is about $100 a box right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like $37 a box when we started making fun of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were like $37 to get a crappy, you could get a Trout, and then there's like 87 guys on the checklist that nobody would pay $37 for.
Yeah, like Ramon Hernandez or a Barry Zito autograph.
Yeah, it's like you're talking $12 to $15 autos if you're a player or team collector, and you just have to have such and such, Chone Figgins,
Yeah, it's crazy what just the experience of being on that side of it, and what people are willing to do to open a box, like trades and stuff, and they're trading stuff that's what they're trying to pull out of the box for a box just to get it out of the box again. And I don't understand. And I was like, okay, I'll take in your good cards for a box that you're hoping to get the same guys out of that you just traded. So
Matt Major just put in the on the YouTube chat that Phil Hughes had tweeted about signing for Topps ass 74 individual 1-of-1s.
That's so dumb.
Hey Ben.
You know what? I was looking to my right.
For those interested in 1-to-1 rarity and Archive Signature Edition, was asked to sign 800 cards for the retired player release. 74 of them would be 1-of-1s.
And I was trying to explain to a customer why he saw a video with 2 Trout and 2 Ohtani 1-of-1s in there. In this case he saw open. I was like, well, because they just go and get a bunch of random cards.
There's one 2001 Topps. There's one 2002 Topps.
And they just
the
sample number
date
that way.
says absolute ass.
Yep.
Well, that's like, we talked about it when that stuff was really starting to become a thing, right? People, I pulled a 1-on-1. It's like, but did you?
Did you?
So yeah, it actually inspired Imran started a product where it's a slabbed Hall of Fame autograph, baseball or football, for $65. It's the same thing, but it's a Hall of Famer. So
it's not a bad idea.
A guy in the Hall of Fame. So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, The other day, some guy named some Royals and A's legend Harmon Killebrew was pulled out, so that was pretty cool.
Also, Indians Hall of Famer. I don't know that you saw that.
Oh no.
Or well, no, sorry, it was Rod Carew.
So hypothetically, Bobby Witt ends up at third base and has a Hall of Fame career. Does he now become the best Royal third baseman?
Hey, you guys didn't see the video, did you?
No.
So Sunday, we had Saturday we had Alex English in the shop, and then Sunday I had Vida Blue in, and I got to interview both. And I asked Vida, I said, "What was it like playing with the greatest third baseman of all time?" And he said, "Oh, playing with George was wonderful." That he played against Brooks Robinson and he played against Mike Schmidt, pitched against both of them, but being the teammate of his was phenomenal. And he actually said that Mike might have the most power of all time, and that Brooks might have the defense, but Brett was the player. So,
all right, I'll admit George Brett was a top 10 third baseman of all time. This is the last episode, at least for the foreseeable future, top 10.
Hey, can you guys tell me the last switch hitter to win the MVP in the American League?
I don't know.
Crickets.
It's late at night here. It's 9 p.m. Pacific.
Vida Blue.
There you go. Check that out.
How insane is that?
I like little nuances like that. Thanks for letting me know you had Vida Blue. I'm only an Oakland A's fan.
Well, we put it everywhere. I got yeah. What's even cooler is like, we just sat down, chatted with them, we got to sign a bunch of stuff, and
I have a phone. You could have called me and said, "Hey."
It was all over the place.
I have a cell phone. You could have called me.
That's true. Raleigh came in too, by the way.
I know I missed that one. I had something going on. I couldn't have made that one, no matter how hard I wanted to try.
But yeah, it's been great. So yeah,
he doesn't call me. What makes you think he's going to call you?
If you like Oakland A's, I would just be following me somewhere tomorrow, and I'll let you know.
Call me. Why don't you call me? I have a phone. You don't have to like me to call me.
I didn't say, whoa. You know how busy? It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm just like heading home from work. I have 2 small children. My wife's probably gonna meet me at the door with some kind of a weapon. So this might be the last time everybody sees me.
It is 11:54, sir.
Yeah, at least your wife's next to you. She knows where he is. I was driving home. I pulled over. I'm in some random parking lot. Which I'm pretty sure there's some illicit activity going on over right. And I'm afraid that she's going to want to come over here next. So.
Hey, listen, 2 things. 1, as long as you're not Reese McGuiring yourself right now.
No.
And 2, would you like some stubs?
Oh, dude,
yeah.
got stubs on hand.
We
had our traditional Whataburger.
First time in months
since we'd had Whataburger. Months.
All right. Well, all I got to say is it's been awesome. It's just been it's like I said, the doors it's open, the people we've met. I'm just amazed by it all the time. I really, really am. The people we can reach out and talk to. I mean, I want to say like it's like amazing. I just like the connection that Upper Deck loved us, right? And we didn't go out of our way to build that. They're the ones that reach out to us and they were listening to us, and I think we have some good friends over there. And it was just from doing the show and being upfront and honest. I think, we had Brian Gray, we have CEO of a card company on. We've had baseball players. Like I reached out to Daniel Trilio the other day after he signed with the Giants, and I said, "Hey, when you're rehabbed, you'll probably end up in SAC." And I said, "Let me know what's up." And we have a guy of a card shop, all this stuff. And we chatted. He goes, "Yeah, I remember being on your podcast. I remember it being late at night, and I sounded bad, and I felt like I could have done better for you guys." And I was like, "No," but we had a Pro Bowler on, all kinds of crazy.
Who also plays for the Giants now.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff that we've done from just going out and doing. I think that's the biggest thing is I learned in this
Jim
process.
Beckett knows who we are.
Yeah,
Jim Beckett knows who we are. That's the look.
Done. That was it. It's done.
We may have already told the cold shower story earlier this afternoon.
Yeah,
when Rich Klein was on.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me. And the one thing I take away from this is don't let failure scare you. Just go out and do it until somebody tells you can't do it anymore. And because it's the biggest thing. And it took me to be almost 40 years old to do that. But, ever since then, the confidence has been, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go do it. Doesn't matter.
That's all we did.
Throw up a link.
Say, hey, we had Google Hangouts, was it?
Google Hangouts back in the day.
Yeah. And I heard you guys played the OG music tonight.
We did.
Of course. Yeah. We may lead out with it here in a few minutes.
So
it really has been an honor, guys. Whether we ever are able to come back, like Shep, a lot of people are saying, can you guys, the three of you, do once a month? So we have stuff that we can discuss at a later date. But if not, it's been an absolute honor.
Yeah, it really has.
Been a lovely ride. I absolutely love hearing from everybody chiming in. Those who were here tonight, of course, but those who had expressed well wishes who weren't able to make it tonight. Everybody who follows us on all of the social medias. Everybody who's come on the show previously, to include 5, 4, 3, 2. Whether we still like them or not, ideally.
Or whether or not Ben has blocked them or not,
It's a fun little game I like to play, guys.
It happens. Ryan Cracknell, Tanner Jones, Chris Torres, James Kutkowski, Mike Sommer, Drew Herndon, Nick Wasika, of course, Ryan Johnson, Joey Shiver, Nick Deontay, Bo Thompson, Mike Sommer again, Ken Kinsley, Guy Chang of Replin, Chris Carlin of Upper Deck, now moved on, Jimmy Mahan, Kentucky Cards, absolutely amazing interview from episode number 71. Bo Thompson of 1 Million Cubs, Sal Berry of Puck Junk, James Good of Run Good Life, Christian Anderson, CD Anders, Ken Carl, the artist, Leighton Shelton, of course, stopped by on episode 85, Casey Kreider, previously alluded to, episode 87, Bailey of Bailey Joe Cards, Jackson Cheshire of Prison Hoops, Christopher Lawson of Kraken Wax, Daniel Tilo, that Shep just previously alluded to. Blake Jameson appeared early on, episode 88. John Newman, Brian Gray, episode number 101. Brent Williams, episode number 106. Great interview if you guys haven't seen it yet. Chris Harris made a pop on by. Andrew Renault from Bayside Breakers has appeared in many, many, many episodes. Paul Lesko, episode 110, made his first appearance. Angela has appeared in several. John P., who recently reached out to us with his reactivated account. Ben Aguirre, of course. John Grochalski. Let's see. Greg Gay, Night Owl Cards. Absolutely one of the reasons I'm here. Had a great interview with him. Dan Serbia Sports. Blake Jameson made a reappearance, episode number 135. Brian Murphy, Real Murph Dog, appeared episode number 137. Doug Caskey and the guys from Mojo have made several appearances. Herman Bryant, Ryan Nolan, not Nolan Ryan, Omar Cornelius. Let's see, Dr. Beckett, episode number 164. Sal Berry and Tim Parrish. Jared Kelly. Absolutely would love your work, and I can't thank you enough for your honoring and remembrances. Those will never leave my collection. Gerald New, Ben's friend. Jeff Soxy, Ben's friend. Tony Bianchini. Let's see. Mike Biggins, of course. Bigsy. Rick Wilson, who's currently here. Matt Schwartz. Dewey Lund. Jeff Selsky. Doug and Dan, of course. Matt Peak from Parkside Cards. Episode number 186. Adam Headley, Nick Deontay, Chris Anderson, Andrew Renault, and many, many more.
Just going through the list, man. It's been a wild ride. A lot of great moments, all those episodes. A lot of fun arguments too.
A lot of fun arguments.
Yep.
And discussions, and bets lost, and horrible picks, and horrible set breaks, and more so, a lot of friends made along the way.
Did we ever find the wood minis?
No. But we did
Big
find one big league.
We did find 2021 Big League. It does exist.
But Shep, when you say Upper Deck, right? And Jason Mosher, the president of Upper Deck's like, I want to come on.
Forgot his name.
But I want all three. It's like just an honor to hey, people at Upper Deck know who we are.
Crazy.
The guy from Collector Caps last episode.
Yeah, it's just it's been
Matt Major.
Been amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
well, guys, I have to bounce.
We're at the 2-hour mark.
I think we all bounce.
I think we all bounce.
Mr. Geary, thank you so much for hopping on tonight and all your friendship and your guidance and your debating with me every time I had something to say and you're like, actually, I disagree. But it's all respectful, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your friendship, and I still have some Carney Lansford and Roger Clemens cards out in the garage set aside for you. I'll get to them eventually.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me on over the years. You guys have provided a lot of entertainment for me as I drove to and from work at 3 and 4 in the morning sometimes. So I didn't know.
Sione. You was forgetting someone.
It's always good to catch you guys, and I appreciate you guys, providing the entertainment for us.
Always.
Thank you so much.
What a pleasure.
And with that, we will
Roll
see you guys. Maybe
Another day.
We'll see you another day at another time. Roll that awesome.